This meeting is being recorded.
There we go. This meeting is being recorded. I wonder if I can stream it into Facebook. Let's just see for a laugh. But I don't think it will do it. It doesn't want to do it. Hello, Douglas. Hello, Dee.
Good evening.
Good evening. You all right? There we go. Just waiting for Natalie to appear.
Within a sophisticated computer simulation.
Saying to outlandish a lost gold city called Paya TV.
The holy grail for potential gold afterbeats.
And no telling what will happen next.
We could have an extinction level event tomorrow or a million years from now. Certainly a company. There's the chance.
Oh, it's 7:01 and Natalie's not here yet. Oh, there she is. Goodness me. I was just going to have a turn then. Hello, hello.
You know. That's it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Take it off or leave it on. Take it off.
You're going to leave it on.
Plus,
Chilly.
let's spotlight the gates. There we are. Welcome everyone on Zoom.
Can't see it because I've been highlighted as a.
Oh, how lovely.
Gonna put it in there.
Oh, the hat's on the floor.
Ooh. Oh, an event.
Jen's running it.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah, fab. Thank you.
Is it 7 o'clock?
Can't tell. 7 o'clock.
Hello, Nicholas.
Hello, happy St. George's Day.
Happy St. George's Day. Oh, we're starting.
Spirits of the dead, spirits of the living, kindred, welcome. Welcome to, you're welcome to come in a little bit, so you're more friendlier and I'm less shouty. Welcome to the 227th consecutive monthly vigil. We've been vigiling here every single month for almost 19 years. In June, we celebrate our 19th year. Welcome to everybody standing at the gates live. And welcome through the magic of Natalie's telephone, Zoom vigil, with Jackie at the helm on that end, and goodness only knows where people are coming from. They could be coming from all over the world. Isn't it amazing? One of the very few things that we've got that's good from the plague times. I nearly said Brexit, but cancel that because we don't do politics tonight. So Jackie, everybody, welcome. I'm watching 10 as he directs a biker. Let me just, for the sake of not you Zoom people, because you're all nice and safely indoors, not standing in the rain. But we who are out on the street are here. The road is a one-way street, but it's been closed at the top. We've got 2 goose samurai. 10 at this end, dressed in a very natty red and black and red striped socks, and the most fashionable high vis that he could find. He's guarding the street at that end, because even though the road is closed from cars and buses and lorries and the dust cart, it's not closed from bikers and cyclists and delivery drivers who will come down here. So Terry's at the other end. They are here to guard us, so that even though we are standing in the streets in the middle of London, we can just relax into what we're doing here. I nearly said work, but it's actually more like a dance. Even if we're not jigging about, we're dancing on the inside, let's face it. So that's the Goose Samurai. Let's hear it for the Goose Samurai. Now, every single month we come here. We come here to do 3 simple things. We honour the outcomes. We refresh and renew the shrine. And we reclaim the goose's secret history. Honouring the outcast both dead and alive, of course. We represent the outcast alive here. We come here to get into a feeling of relationship with what it must be to feel outcast. It's why we've always stood on the outside of the graveyard, to get some kind of hint of what it must be like to be the ones that are pushed aside, the ones that are silenced and forgotten. And not just forgotten accidentally, but very often forgotten more than on purpose. So on the other side of the gates, on the graveyard itself, the outcast dead are represented by the 15,000 souls that still lie here. Their mortal remains are here, and we hope that they will be here for a good long time. The fight has gone on for a very long time to save this graveyard. And the 15,000 souls that are still buried here are a proportion of what were in Crossbones graveyard, because many, many more have been disappeared when the building of the electricity substation occurred. So the outcast dead and the outcast living, we're here to honour. Refresh and renew the shrine just by being here, just by having the human presence in relationship with the graveyard and the gate at the portal of where the 2 things become one. Here is honour. We refresh and renew the shrine. We hang our ribbons every month. And reclaiming the goose's secret history, you will hear lots of goose words. She speaks in poetry very often. Well, all the time, actually. Sometimes she bursts into song. And we do really what she says we do. We hear in the flesh to reclaim and repossess the spirit and its quest for consummation. It's one of my favourite sets of goose words in the whole of the Sabbath Mysteries, because it lets me understand that not only am I searching for something, as mostly we are searching for something in the world, something that feeds, something that's deep, but spirit is on a quest as well. Spirit wants to dance with us. So we come here. We do a very simple ritual, 4 or 5 different rituals. The first one is we hold the light. We stand just for a minute in silence, because whatever any book says about in the beginning was the word, in the beginning was the silence. Everything starts in silence. All of the noise we make comes from silence and sinks back into the silence. When we're here in the middle of the city, we act as if we are nothing, that the noises of the city just pass through us. They rise and they fall and they go away, and what's behind it all the time? Silence. And not just the silence that's outside. We call on the silence that's inside, the same silence. And our silence and the silence that the goose brings of eternity, we dance together here. That's what we practice. We practice in a lot of things. We practice open pathway. We practice radical acceptance. And we practice shining emptiness. We stand here as if we are completely empty, and the only thing that is us is the same as this light here. And for 1 minute, our light and this light stands together in unison. And what we practice is the radical acceptance. There is such a thing that we are not all separate, that we are one. Even saying that makes me tremble and actually stretches my mind so much that sometimes it gets blank. For that possibility to be possible, that takes radical acceptance just to consider it. It's awesome. As the goose says, it's a story. So let's stand here. I think we need the dragon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vigil. Welcome to... You're not doing anything yet, St. George. The dragon's holding the light for now. Welcome to St. George's Day. Welcome to Shakespeare's birthday, also Shakespeare's death day, and welcome to the 23rd anniversary of the very first production of the play, The Southwark Mysteries.
Yay.
The play what John wrote. Applause. Is he there?
No,
This comes to play.
not that I can say.
What a shame. 23 years ago today, Southwark Mysteries, the play, not to be mistaken for the series of poetic, the Goose's Mystery, which is also called Southwark Mysteries, but might confuse you, but we're all confused anyway, so who cares? So the play was put on for 1 day only on the 23rd of April. It started in the Globe Theatre. Can you imagine that? This little bunch of, well, it wasn't us, obviously, but, you know, our people in the Globe. The first half of Southwark Mysteries was put on there, and then they processed through, and the play finished and culminated in the Southwark Cathedral. It's also the 13th anniversary of the second production, where I was there. We did put on the play for 3 nights. Good Friday, Easter Saturday, and Easter Sunday, culminating on Easter Day. And it was all in Southwark Cathedral. If you want to know any of the details of it, read Vigilante, because I just gushed. So lots of anniversaries and lots of silence. So who's going to hold the candle? I am going to ding the bell. pipe down, shut our mouths, have some respect, humility, and welcome to the silence. What is burning within us. I would like to point out, everybody, that while I'm perfectly aware it is St George's Day, I couldn't find the flags. So I'm awfully sorry, but the pirates seem to have taken them. I'd also like to introduce you. I came in the car, so I just brought everything. There's a car going to be going. Okay, there's a car going to be coming out soon, so please feel free to skiffle into the lines of death so you can get past us. We're all right at the minute, we're still putting safety. Oh no, here you go. So I'd like to introduce you while we're just sort of scrabbling around. Santa Muerte, who usually lives on my wall with me. I thought I might bring her to Guy's Death Cafe next time we have a Death Cafe.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday? Time flies. There is a Santa Muerte that lives on the back of the banner that used to come here, but that's with John. She used to only appear once a year at Halloween, at Crossbones. She just wanted to be here, as we all do. Now, what we usually do at this point in the vigil is we usually do our act of binding and loosing, where we hang our ribbons on the gates and so on. But tonight, because there's a little tiny tot that might get fractious, St George and the Dragon are going to enact their sacred play. Well, we think it's going to be sacred, but by the looks of St George, who knows what's going to happen.
Thank you very much.
And then the baby can go home to bed. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you St George and the Dragon.
Ready.
Now, my child, we come here again on the anniversary of when your father and my brother, your uncle, disappeared, never to be seen again. It was very sacred to them. It is very sacred to all of us that we remember this place and that we teach the young people the significance of Crossbones and everything that was important to us, my child. How I do miss your father and your uncle. I miss them very, very much, but their memory will live on and we will love them forever.
Bloody hell!
Not in the face, son. Oh, here I go. He's doing a bloody marathon, isn't he? The one he's not hurt. Now listen, it's a perfectly good explanation for this. We've been on a quest.
Yes, now you have to understand we've been on a quest. What? My dear sister. Well, actually, we're going around Western Supermare, actually.
So you party, did you? Down the
I thought we were going on a holy quest, you know.
Now, I'll have you know, it was Western Supermare, my sister. Western Supermare!
10 years for that. Whatever you.
You have done, sir.
Bless his soul. Bless his soul. Legend. But yes, but
My
my dear,
little podcast.
is your daughter.
What?
Brittany.
What?
Your daughter, my love.
By the saints!
My daughter.
She is your daughter, my love.
Okay, I know how that happened, but
When you popped back, a little bit ago, you popped back and you were briefing, you said you'd be back very soon. You went for cigarettes. But now you're home, and I'll show you what she's been holding with her every day. She never forgot you, my love. Look at this one. Yes. Oh, wonderful.
I tell you what, though, we
A
did go on a
die
quest.
and a die.
We did go on a quest.
You did.
We went to the Holy Land.
What did you get?
But we only went to Port Town.
Oh, we went to the Holy Land.
The Holy Land. You did?
Yes.
What did you get?
Wait for the van. You get all the way down the road.
Really? That's your uncle, my darling. Don't read it.
Yeah, I
A few best. Oh my dear.
It's not.
It is the Holy Grail, my dear.
It.
Some French guy I threw at him. You know,
Get for your daughter. But now we can start together as a family.
Indeed.
Shall we join in song?
Indeed.
What were we thinking?
Well, I think there's only one good song.
Yes.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
St. Tom, isn't it?
You know, St. Tom.
It's
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
You've got a message for us, haven't you?
Have I?
Well, do you remember it?
No, I don't.
You don't? Do you remember it, my
Well,
love?
we gather today at the Crossbones. Also on St. George's Day. It's Duncan Bum.
Well, thing is,
What we remember, it's not about fighting.
No.
It's not about being at loggerheads with each other. It's about getting on. It's about loving, caring for each other, joining with each other. And that way we can all be as one.
and I'll tell you what, I've never, but this is the first day I've ever met Serena right here.
Also,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and like she is absolutely beautiful, and I haven't seen Michelle in a long time. Yeah, yeah. Well, you
In a
know,
different life.
yeah, in a different life. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for. St. George?
The dragon. Britannia. And Britain. One more round of applause for the under. Well, I think you know who it was.
I'm sorry. No, St. John.
Moving swiftly on. the act of binding and loosing. We tie ourselves to the gates in some way. But after we've tied ourselves, or our wishes, or our hopes, or our dreams, or whatever we tie to the gates, then we loosen ourselves from it and we walk away. And although we're still here in some way, we're also free. In some way. Don't ask me to explain, love, it's the mystery. So, then hands round small. And you Zoom people, you get hold of your ribbon. I'll get them on. There's plenty more around. I've got one more here. Oh, I'm a ribbon-free zone now.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. Go on. I think there's plenty. Thanks. Okay, so as we pass the ribbons around, Di, could you take some more up the other end, please? Love? Thank you kindly. We perform this act to what we call the echo prayer. It's not really a prayer, it's more like a poetic offering of what we're actually doing. Here lay your hearts. Description of what we're doing. And we repeat it 5 times. It's called an echo because the ones of us that know it will speak it out, and then the ones that don't know it can echo back what you hear. If you do know it, then say it at your own time. But if you don't know it, then just listen to what people are saying around you, and words will pop out at you, and repeat them. Come forward, hang your ribbons on the gates, take as long as you like. We have got a little while because we do repeat it 5 times. And yeah, just give enough space to each other to make it lovely. So this is what we say. We say, here lay your hearts.
Here lay your hearts, your flowers, your book of hours, your fingers, your thumbs.
You miss you, Mum.
You miss you, mums.
Here hang your hope,
Here hang your
your
hopes,
dreams,
your dreams,
your might,
your magazines,
your love,
your
your
locks,
seas,
your keys,
your mystery.
your mysteries.
Here lay your hearts.
Here lay your hearts, your flowers, your book of hours, your fingers, your thumbs.
Here hang your hopes, your dreams,
Your might have beens,
your
your locks, your keys, your mysteries. Here lay your hearts, your flowers, your book of hours, your fingers, your thumbs, your mysteries. Here hang your hopes, your dreams,
your
might
might,
have beens.
your
Here
lot,
hang your
keys, your mystery,
Your hearts,
your
your
heart,
book of hours.
your fingers, you miss you, Mum.
Your hopes,
Your hopes, your
dreams,
dreams,
Your loves,
your
keys, your mysteries.
your fingers, your thumbs,
you miss
you miss
you,
your mums. Here hang your hopes, your dreams, your might have beens, your locks, your keys, your mysteries.
Oh. Our next part of the vigil is what we call our sacred offerings. We always open and close with the sacred offerings, but in the middle, what we do is we open this bit to anybody here that wants to offer something, a poem, a song, to say something about your own beloved dead. It's not exactly an open mic, so we do ask that it's got something at least to do with Crossbones or the goose, but within your own lights, by your own understanding. So we always start with goose words. Mark was going to run this bit, but he had, I think it's called a large night last night. So he didn't come back from Exeter, but he had been learning several words that he could quote from the play The Southern Mysteries. Is Mark there? No, he's gone off as well. It's a hangover central. Okay, we'll stick to what we have got. And what we're going to do is close and end tonight with St. George and the Dragon words. They're poems written by John Constable out of the poem half of the Southwark Mysteries. There's your play half, there's your poem half. On the 23rd of November, 1996 maybe, the goose started downloading poetry into John's brain, and it was a mystery, and it still is. So here we go. Now, Georgie was a soldier who refused to follow orders, and he had the Roman Empire in a flap. So God knows how Georgie got done in that Roman orgy, then stitched up with this dragon killing rap. For when Rome at last converted, our George's hands got dirtied as defender of the empire that was rotten to the core. George, the emperor's appeaser, rendered Christ unto his Caesar, took the high priestess of Egypt, and he made of her the whore. Then Georgie went crusading, a reaping and a raiding, to slake his trusty blade in dragon gore. At the temple of Jerusalem, the children of the Saracens got chopped up on the altars of his goddamned holy war. Now, as George went down in history, he fell into bad company. They dressed him up in Gordon's bigots' clothes, with their roast beefs and bully boys, and marching, making mighty noise to George's fields, to bloody Patrick's nose. George was all too willing to take their 30 shilling for to go a dragon killing for their sluttish English rose. And the mob made him the stronger, dinged the dragons with his donga. Then he chopped them up and fed them to the crows. Now George, seeing the error of his ways, did flee in terror, took refuge at the hospice of St. Mary Overy, where Sister Martha did receive him, nursed him through his gruesome grieving. Then they set about the healing of the dragon, slain in the name of England, St. George, and liberty.
I haven't seen whether it wants to do anything.
2 volunteers, yes?
Oh.
2 offerings?
One at the moment.
Okay. Have we got any more offerings? Sorry, I completely forgot to say. Who else wants to make an offering tonight before it pisses down with rain? Oh, we've got Day 500, we've got 10, we've got St. George, and we've got the dragon. And we've got
Bernadette.
And we've got Bernadette. Right, what we'll do first is let's have Day 500, please, to step forward. Everybody, Day 500.
Right. Okay. Right, I'm day 500, but a lot of people wonder where the 500 come from. So it all started when I saw a program on the TV called History Cold Case, where they took out skeletons from the graveyard to build the substation. So that led me here to this vigil, and I was asked to sign a petition to save the graveyard. So I did that, and then a couple of days later, I went back on the petition site, and I found out I was number 500. So that's how all that started. Also, I found Crossbones marked on an ordnance survey map from 1872 when I was researching my family history from this area. The other reason I come to Crossbones is that my son, Jason, also known as Angriness Brimstone, or DJ Brimstone, died in 2011. His picture's on the end of the gate there. And I taught him about electronics from when he was 3.5 years old. But when he was 4, his mum left home, and the next day I gave up my job. I was now a one-parent family. And I brought him up from here on in. He went past what I knew about electronics when he was about 14. He blasted my brain with many statistics, which I didn't understand too well. He built and tested everything beyond its capabilities. It had the full Monty Jason test, which usually ended up destroyed. From then on, he got interested in pirate radio, graduated from CB radio. He built sophisticated electronic circuits, eventually building transmitters and other devices for the pirate radio world. People got to hear about what he could do, and so supplied much of his equipment to the pirate radio world. He became quite well known in the pirate radio circles. The money came rolling in for him. One thing to note, when he was 14, I noticed something different about him. But at the time, I couldn't put my finger on it. In his later years, he was writing to prisoners in the USA, sometimes sending money. And I kept saying to him, why you keep sending money to these people? Think of yourself. Anyway, he kept on going. After he passed, I found the reason. He was an empath. The letters he kept on his PC. I found letters on his PC. Also a video, but he never did put it on YouTube. But I put it on there for all the world to see. In his video, he said he stopped 2 people committing suicide. One of those people, and she has now a partner and 3 children and living a happy and rewarding life. She is so proud of what Jason did for her. Jason dealt with mental, psychological and relationship problems. There was no need for a counsellor. If anyone had a problem, he would be there for them and fix their problem almost immediately by using words only empaths use. Right, the next bit is not so important, but very, very important in certain respects. I bought some land. It wasn't expensive. It's in the far northwest of Scotland. The land is for conservation purposes only. With the land, a tree is planted. That tree is called Angriness Brimstone. This piece of land cannot be built on or any roads running across it. So I have stopped Scottish government building on it. Just say this piece of land is only 1 foot square. Okay, thank you all for listening. Brimstone not forgotten.
Experiment what we're going to do the next thing. We've sometimes tried the people at the Zoom vigil can present their offerings to us. Sometimes it's not very loud, but we do our best. And so who's there now?
Bernadette.
Bernadette is going to offer us something, and we're all going to gather round Natalie's phone and listen to Bernadette's offering. Carry on. Bernadette, everybody.
Hello. I'm gonna shout as loud as I can so everybody can hear. With the permission of your heart, with the permission of your faces, with the permission of the goose, I present this offering. I've been working with a calpulli of conchero dancers, Mexica dancers in Mexico, and my calpulli last year visited a mass grave of unidentified people. And after that, we did that offering. I asked my Kalpuli if they would be willing to tie up that offering, that prayer with Crossbones. And my Kalpuli agreed yesterday. So we are now seeking to get permission to do the same ritual that we did last year here on the 23rd of June. And Goose permitting, we will be tying up this prayer to the people that are forgotten and that are in a grave and unidentified. So this is my offering, and this is what I offer to you. And well, I love you from Mexico.
Now, there's 2 or 3 more people that want to talk. Can I please remind you, it's starting to rain. Keep it short, keep it very sweet. It's all lovely, but, you know, let's keep it moving. St. George.
Hello, how you doing? Oh, obviously come up here, thing is, me and Miguel have been doing these like plays around here for 9 years. 9 bloody years.
9 long years.
And thing is, it's our pleasure to always keep on doing it. But the thing is like there's so many people who've never actually got to see any of our like performances. Like my mother and my father, they never got to see that. Your mum and dad, you know, even though they are still living, of course. But the major thing about that is that where we do St. George and the Dragon is majorly about the love of the Crossbones. And you know, I'm always the one who's always gobby about it, so I'll let you talk about it for a second.
I'll do my bit if that's all right then now.
Yeah.
Because when Johnny first brought me here, you told me the story. I actually bought a book of the Southwark Mysteries in South London Press, was it?
Yeah.
In Whitechapel. So he was telling me about it. So we came here, and I was so moved about the story. I went away, and the muse just came to me. The goose came to me, and she gave me some beautiful words about these poor unfortunate girls. And with your permission, I will recount it to you now.
Please do.
The Winchester geese. Oh, you, fond fowls of wanton pleasure, with you we found our greatest treasure. In glorious ecstasy and carnal needs, we sated our lust, our want, our need, without thought of your desires, not wishing you our children to sire. For a few dirty coins the deed was done, then tossed aside till the sun arose upon another day. There's no reason for us to stay. Then once again the deep need was there for us to come again to share our dirty seas of carnal lust, then leave again yourselves to dust with the languid. We sowed our seeds not once to think upon your fears. No Christian burial for you, unholy birds, whilst us in church on bending knee repeat the words of love, forgiveness, righteous piety. Then to go about our business so blind not to see that you, lovely birds, kept us fulfilled. With our feral lust, the same we killed, the very source that kept us alive and sated, our want, not yours. Our lustful deeds you hated. To finally at last companionship, to sleep amongst the bones of others buried cold, unmarked beneath the stones, to keep them far away from hallowed ground, at last, to find release from the hell you've known and found. So here today, I do say a prayer for you lovely geese, just lying there. May the most holy and righteous love on wings of geese take you to those heights above. Rest in peace.
You wondrous geese.
You wondrous geese.
Thank you so much indeed. That's a beautiful poem. I always love when you read that. Shall you and I swap over now, 10, and I'll do that and you do this. Ladies and gentlemen, 10.
Hi, my name's Ken. Last month I read the Hacker Manifesto in memory of Master Vic. But little did I know that on February the 14th, a chap lesser known as deadbeat of light speed distribution, known to some others as Luke, left his house without his wallet and phone, and then exactly on a month later, on March the 14th, he committed suicide in the Thames. So I'm going to connect a little bit of writing that just kind of came to me. If you know about the history of the Bishop of Suffolk, you know about Clink Street and the history of Clink Street and the Clink. I'd like to connect that to a chap called Ross Ulbricht. Now, Ross Ulbricht was the founder of a e-commerce site known as the Silk Road, and he's basically doing life. And for his crime of running this e-commerce site, you can do some research and you'll probably find out why he's doing life, and he won't have parole, and unless a president pardons him, he will spend his life there. But as I've been remembering some really quite zen people, there's Yoshi I've been remembering here recently, and I did a little ceremony for Yoshi recently here. This guy's really quite zen, so I check out some of his writing. So yeah, it's Ross Ulbricht, and he's doing time. There's a petition that's been signed by 500 million, that's been by 500,000 people. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor and stoic, wrote, "Imagine you are dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." Now my phone's misbehaving in the rain. No one makes it out alive. In the end, they put you in a hole in the ground and throw dirt in your face. But having accepted this, the question one must face is, now what? Will you live this day as if life is just another thing to take for granted? Will you waste it bored and cynical? I never knew just how precious life is until I lost it. When I stop and look at myself, my life, the universe and everything, I am deeply humbled. I'm grateful for what little I have left. I'm grateful for this little moment. He also does some amazing art. This guy's like, yeah, amazing artist. Death is coming, make no mistake. And in 1,000 years, probably much sooner, all of your problems will be less than petty. They will be forgotten. All you know will cease. Let this sink in. Let I disturb you. Let it disturb you. Let it disturb the self-centered illusions you live in. You are dead. Now what? That is up to you. Being dead, there is nothing to lose. Being dead, there is nothing to fear. Even perhaps, especially for a man condemned to die in a cage, that feels like a freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Right, I'm going to do it quickly because we have to do it, because this is how it works. The George and Martha mystery. Mary O'Reilly, tell me Mary Martha mystery at the yard at George's hostelry. George, of dragon notoriety, patron saint of nationality, did pierce the dragon bodily with his fearsome lance of destiny. And Martha tamed it tenderly, stroked the head and cunningly with her girdle bound the beastie, and so did harness dragon energy, according to O'Reilly of the yard of George's hostelry. And I, the child at liberty to reveal my southern mystery, how George did return to liberty to tend the very dragon he had slain, did labour patiently to heal the wound of history once and for all eternity by the grace of Mary O'Reilly. Ladies and gentlemen, we happy few, being watered by spring's lovely rain, we are stepping into our last ritual of the vigil, where we make a blessing. We offer two blessings, the blessing of the Koblokos and the blessing for the goose. Now, who knows how to be Jim Jen? Joseph does. Well, of course you do, but you can only do one job at once, Natalie. Don't be greedy. Now we invite you all to come and get as close as you can to the gates. Stand next to the gates, touch the gates, be close to where that portal is. And if you can't touch the gates, ladies and gentlemen, touch somebody who's touching the gates, and that's good enough for the goose. And then we do another echo shout. Joseph has enclosed us in gin. We use gin as our sacred liquid here, being the drink that the poor would drink, the only thing that would give them some kind of comfort. Yes, St. George.
Oh, very much.
And here we go. Say after me. Life.
Life,
Health,
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 happiness,
happiness,
open pathways,
open pathway,
health,
life,
happiness,
health, happiness,
open
open
pathways,
pathways,
health in the body,
health in the
peace
body,
in the spirit,
peace in the spirit,
heart,
love in the heart,
health in the body,
health in the
peace in the
body,
spirit,
peace in the
love in
spirit,
the heart.
love in the heart.
It is this that we wish
It is this
for
that we wish
ourselves,
for ourselves,
for our friends and
friends
family,
and for our family, friends and family,
for all our
for all our
siblings,
siblings,
for the goose and the crow,
and the crow,
and
for
for all
all
humanity.
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 It is this that we wish
We wish
for ourselves,
for ourselves,
for our
for
friends
our
and
friends
family,
and family,
Our siblings.
for all our
for all our
siblings,
siblings,
for the goose and the
the
crow,
goose and the crow,
and for all
for all
humanity.
humanity.
And may it be so.
May it be so.
Goose, may you never be hungry.
Goose may never be
Never
hungry.
Goose, may you never be thirsty.
Goose may
May you
you
never be
Goose,
thirsty.
may your spirit fly free.
Goose
May
may
your
you
spirit fly free.
Dancing
Can
in
you
the
fill that
day.
up? Can you fill that up, please?
Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I hope you're lovely and dry because we are sopping. Boy, have we had a good time. Thank you so much for coming. Pass it back that way. Notices, please.
Anybody
Oh, if
back that
anybody
way
else
wants
wants to
more?
enjoy some of the spirits here.
For anyone that's interested, Man United are going to the cup final.
This here is the Pirates hat. If anybody wants to make a small donation to support the expenses of the vigil, this is where you put it, please, and thank you. And here are some flyers. If anybody wants them, please feel free to take one. I'm going to be doing 4 short tours called The Goose and the Garden, starting at the end of May, going through until June. The details are all there. If you want one, take one away. Leave the rest under the dry, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If we've got any able-bodied people to come and help us take the road closure signs down, thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Hello. We can hear you.
I'm speaking through my phone. I still can't hear anything.
Oh,
So I don't know what's happened. I let somebody in and all the sound went off. Don't know what it was. Really weird. And I can't make it come back on. So never mind.
maybe
There
you'll
we
have
go.
to update your Zoom application at some point after this.
It's not my computer. That's the thing. I'm borrowing a computer because my laptop is broken and I have to do it through the browser and it's all sort of.
Yeah, because they've pushed through an update. I had to update today.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll have to have a look. But I don't know why it should suddenly go off in the middle. Anyway, let me stop the recording because I ought to.